We good? All right, so I'm not about to wait for people to join. Hopefully, y'all get in here fast enough to make it happen. I don't know how to. My boy said tag them. How you tag people in the line? Let me see here. I'm gonna tag my boy. That's about it. I ain't doing nobody else. Y'all get in here. All right, so listen. We just gonna make a real. I'm gonna try to make it a quick video about the madness that we seeing. So we all see Kanye West. He go down and he talks to President Trump. Madness on the Democratic side. Everybody who support the Democrats or at least just don't like the Republicans. That's what most of it come down to. Let me tell you, it ain't even a lot of people that support Democrat. We just hate the Republicans. All right. So we fall for what Democrats talking about, and then the Republicans, they trying to take advantage of us being all emotional and the fact that a lot of us deep down, we frustrated with the Democrats too. So they trying to take advantage of that. And what they do is they're trying to get Kanye West and Candace Owens and all these people that they can consider black leaders. And they trying to get us to go and turn to their party and give their party a chance. So what I want to do is kind of break down the arguments that you see in between the two groups, the Democrats and the Republicans. And I'm going to try to do this real quick, but I'm about to teach you these people history, the stuff that they not going to teach us, and honestly, the stuff that they don't even teach each other no more, right? They teach each other all this watered down crap, and they stuff not even true. So a lot of people don't even know like how it really looks, because even if they were wise enough to look into it, it's so much influence not to believe it's true. So how it breaks down is you have the Republicans now inviting black people like Candace Owens, who's a Republican conservative, but she's black and she's all for the black people, for sure. So listen, you have people like Candace Owens who jump in and they say, Democrats don't mess with black people. Democrats don't do anything for black people. The black people that support and vote for Democrats are doing so out of ignorance, and they're just doing it just because that's what we've been trained to do, but we've been hoodwinked. We need to separate from the Democratic Party. So that becomes what's called the Blexit, is what they call it. Basically, it's the black exit from the Democratic Party. All right, fine. So they're saying the Democrats, this is what the Republicans say. This is how they pose it to us. The Democrats is the ones that supported slavery. Guess who freed the slaves? This is what the Republicans, you know what I'm saying? This is how they pose it to us. Guess who freed the slaves? The Republicans freed the slaves. So there you go. You got Republicans that freed the slaves, y'all. And then now we supposed to join the Republican Party because the Republicans somehow freed the slaves. All right, that's for sure. So Republican freed the slaves. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We should join the Republican Party. The Democrats supported slavery. All right, so Democrats support the slavery. We then should not mess with the Democrats because they support the slavery. This is what the Democrats say back. So that's what the Republicans say. This is what the Democrats say back. The Democrats say back, they say, no, that was the old Democratic Party. So y'all don't know. The Democrats changed. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? What's poppin', Zeke? You know what I'm saying? The Democrats changed. The Democrats used to be racist. They used to be the party for white people. They used to be against slavery. They used to be against all of that madness. But you know what? It switched. So the old Democrats became Republicans, and then the Republicans somehow became Democrats. So the way Democrats pose it to you, Democrats gonna have you believing essentially we are just like the Republicans that freed the slaves, and the Republicans that freed the slaves no longer exist, right? So that's the voodoo, that's the trickery that they try to put on you. And the cold thing about it is technically they're both right. Right? Technically, if you just look at it and just look at the facts, there's facts that support both sides of that argument, but they're misrepresenting the facts. And that's where we all get caught up at. That's where we all get lost. That's where everybody gets in the mess. So what I'm going to try to do real quick is just take you through the quick history, and I'm going to show y'all how all this stuff is about simply power. It has nothing to do. They don't care nothing about black people. They don't care nothing about no immigration. They don't care nothing about either side. Neither side care anything about it. It's all about power, and it's all about manipulating that power. And I'll tell you exactly why things switched, simply because of power. So it starts off like way back in like the 1700s. So you got the 1700s. You got Democrats back then was rocking. Right? Democrats, I mean, they had it locked for a good little minute. a good few years they had a lot. Let me see if I can turn this camera around. I don't know if you can turn the camera around on the thing. Let me see. I'm gonna show y'all real quick. Democrats had it rocking though. You know what I mean? So you got all this right here, Democrats, right? So the blue right here, Democrats. So you have the Democratic Party running stuff, Democrat Party running stuff. You get the yellow is the Whig Party. It's an old party. It don't even, you know what I'm saying? They don't even mess with that no more. So you got the Whig Party right here. They go in for a little bit, then what you get back? Democrats again. A little bit of Whig Party, then back at it. Democrats again, Democrats again. All this red, that's Republicans. And who you see it start with? Abraham Lincoln, right? So they teach us that he's the one that freed the slaves, right? So let's talk about why that happened. During this time, you had almost all the slaves in the South, right? Why do you have them in the South? Because the South had more like agriculture opportunity. So you put all the slaves in the South where they can do this hard labor. South is making dough. You know what I'm saying? Like making money. It's coming in. It's coming in. People ain't messing with the money that the South going on. So that's what the whole Civil War was about. Civil War wasn't about freeing slaves. The Civil War was about, listen, we ain't got it like that up here in the North. If we get a slave, they can clean our house, maybe. You know what I mean? They can clean, you know what I'm saying? They can go, you know what I'm saying? They can go clean our house. Maybe they can take care of the kids. They can do something like that. Down South, it's a little different, though. You know what I'm saying? Down South, you ain't cleaning no house. Boy, you in that field and you picking cotton. And then we going to take the cotton, we going to flip it. We going to give it, and we making money. We killing. We're making dough down South. All South, let me tell y'all, all South was Democrats. Democrats ran the South. So the Democrats were the Confederate Party. So you know all this stuff, how the Democrats now is saying, get rid of the Confederate flag, get rid of the Confederate flag. That was their flag. All right? That part is true. And another thing about the flag, the American flag, you know, the one that they want us to pledge allegiance to, that one was flying too when we were slaves up in the North. So let's get rid of all the flags if y'all want to get rid of something. But that's a different story. So Democrats were making a killing down South. Up North, they like, this is not fair. Right? So who all y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all heard of the 3/5 compromise, where people say a black person was only like 3/5 of a man according to the law. Right? The 3/5 compromise, what that come from is the North was trying to say, get rid of all slaves, right? This is the Republicans. The Republicans was saying, well, it wasn't the Republicans yet, but they ended up becoming the Republicans. They're basically saying, get rid of all the slaves, right? Get rid of all they but don't let any of them count anything for a vote and for the House of Representatives. But for the South, the Democrats in the South, they were basically saying, let's count the slaves towards our House of Representatives. Because basically, the more people you have in the House of Representatives, so the more laws that you have influence on making. So it's all about power. They is looking like, listen, we got slaves, let's count them. They need representation too. Let's do it. The North, they was basically saying, no, they don't need representation because they can't even pay taxes. They don't even vote. So don't count them at all, right? So they came to the compromise saying a 3/5 compromise. So they saying for every 5 slaves, we'll count 3 of them, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 3 slaves that will count towards the House of Representatives. So they compromised with that, right? A little bit after that, that's when you know what I'm saying, the Constitution came about and all that stuff, and America became, you know, like America. So, you know what I'm saying? So Civil War and all that stuff is over. Abraham Lincoln jumped into the game. And again, he's like the first big Republican. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to get his party cracking. The first thing you have to do to get your party cracking is you got to get rid of the advantage of the Democrats. The Democrats are in the South. The Democrats had all the slaves. That means they had all the money. On top of having all the money, they had the 3/5 compromise. So they had more representation than the people in the North. Republicans, which would be Abraham Lincoln at this time, he's looking like, we got to cut this out. So that's where the Emancipation Proclamation comes about. He makes all of the slaves free. So now each slave is free to leave the South. And guess where a slave is? You think a slave is going to stay in the South? Where do you think a slave is going to go once he gets free from the South, where they've been beating his butt, hanging his mama, hanging his sister, slapping their butts all around? Right? Hear me talk. Y'all got to hear this stuff. Don't let these people manipulate y'all. Look, they let them go. They butts ran up north, right? They was already running up north. They ran up north. Why do you think the North was taking in the Southern slaves. They wasn't taking them in out of the kindness of their heart. They had slaves up there too. They had taken them in because it gives them an advantage, right? So, okay, they took in the slaves. They let them join the military. They did all types of stuff, right? All types of stuff. Because now it's changing hands. Now they're getting rid of all that advantage. Once that happens, it's a few different things that happen now, right? Because now the North is starting to get the advantage because matter of fact, let me show y'all. After Abraham Lincoln get it, what you see? Red. Now the Republicans are killing. Why? Because the slaves are now able to vote, and who you think they gonna vote for? You think we gonna vote for? Let's just try to figure it out. Am I gonna vote for the people who've been whooping my darn butt, making me work and not giving me a darn thing, or am I gonna vote for the folks that just freed me? Right? So listen, this is what Candace Owens will tell you. Candace Owens will tell you the Democrats. We're gonna get to this part of the story too. She's going to tell you the Democrats basically bribed black people. Candace Owens and people like her, they'll tell you the Democrats bribed black people because it's a president name. Let me get his name. Who was it? I think it was FDR who came out with the New Deal. If I'm not mistaken, it's FDR. The president, I think it was FDR. He came out with the New Deal and he bribed black people by, like kind of giving them some like a little opportunity in the workplace and, a little opportunity to get some money, get some things happening. Basically, it was a whole bunch of governmental programs and some of them benefited black people and other people too, but some of them benefited black people. So you took that and they called that a bribe. The Republicans nowadays, they're going to say that was a bribe. What you think it was when Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves? You think he just did that out of the kindness of his heart? I can pull up all types of quotes from Abraham Lincoln. He didn't care nothing about no black people. He was a racist himself. A lot of people try to tell you, well, Abraham Lincoln was actually black. That's a lie. Boy, wasn't no darn black. Y'all need to stop that line. Stop all that line. Everybody always doing all that lying to y'all. So anyway, the Republicans killing, right? Killing. Let me show y'all again. Make sure y'all understand. I want y'all to get this picture. The Republicans are killing. This is the whole span of like American history here. Look how large this block is. They got president after president after president after president literally killing, right? Then you get you a little bit of blue in here, right? We back at the Republican, back at that thing. They're right here. The blue, you know what I'm saying? Okay, we getting here. No. Back at it. It wasn't until my boy Woodrow Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, that might have been a New Deal. Woodrow Wilson, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'll be getting them all mixed up, all these people. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? I think it was Woodrow, FDR, Woodrow. I don't know. One of them came out with the New Deal, but that's beside the point. Republicans were killing, right? So after that, after the Republicans start killing and doing their thing and having too much, that's when you see the Democrats start to switch, right? Because logically now they know all this time we had an advantage. And again, y'all can see it. I'm not making this up. Y'all can see it. And you can look at the timeline. Look at this. First, Democrats killing. All of a sudden, first red you see, Abraham Lincoln freed slaves. The advantage here, there were slaves. The advantage was the slaves. They had more representation because of slaves. Abraham Lincoln gets rid of that. He frees the slaves. All right. Then all of a sudden you see all red. This is all red. Then you come back down. You look at my boy here. He do something for black people a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Then they still got the advantage. Then it's FDR. That's when the New Deal came about, right? That's when stuff started to change a little bit. This is 1933 when he came into office. You know what I'm saying? That's when stuff started to change a little bit. So they start passing laws to help us out. That's how the people got in, right? That's how the people come in. They started to switch stuff around. So the Democrats now, that's where the Republicans now is trying to tell us it's a bribe. That's when they start bribing our butts. Listen, mess with us. We'll give you welfare. We'll take care of you with government programs. We'll do all this stuff. We'll do it. All they're trying to do is get black people back on their side, right? They're no longer in the South. They start to move out of the South. So now when the Democrats, the Southern racist KKK Democrats started to offer, you know what I'm saying, all this stuff to black people, that's when the Southerners, right, the real people, they was like, hey, racist, but they like, I'm not messing around with that. Why y'all helping black people? We don't mess with these black people. The real people, they was like, we don't support that madness. Like the Democrats used to be racist like us. Why they not racist? So that's where the switch came. Why aren't y'all helping out black people and all these other people? Why y'all using government money to pay for all this stuff? The same argument that the Republicans have now. So then they switch and they went to the Republican Party, right? They start being Republicans. And then you start seeing people in the North start being Democrats, right? So the party did switch because of that. You have all up north, you have Democrats, because Democrats is now trying to take advantage of the people that's in the North, because that's where a lot of the slaves moved away from. They moved out of the South, and they went to these different places. So they tried to capture their minds, and they say, you know what? We're going to help y'all out with government programs. We're going to do all this stuff. Long story short, then you start seeing like deals get put on the table with like I want to say like Lyndon B. Johnson. And like some of the conversation, you can quote all the stuff I'm talking about. You can look at all the stuff I'm talking about. If you look at what Lyndon B. Johnson used to say, racist, but Democrat though, racist, but he had calling us N-words, calling us all types of stuff, right? Racist, but what he was saying was, listen, we got to get a black folks something, but not too much. So that's what all these government programs started to come about, right? The Republicans now are, different. They are the old Democrats. So they looking like we ain't messing with our stuff. But remember, the Democrats is only doing it just to get the power of the black vote, right? So look at what else is happening now in the world. As the black people get more freedom, you'll start to see that labor is being more expensive, right? So black people, as they're given more rights, the right to vote and all this stuff, now I can't pay you $2 an hour, $1 an hour, 50 cents an hour, or sometimes even nothing with sharecropping and all this stuff that used to go on, right? We can't cheat black people no more because now we're actually giving them rights. We got to pay them just like the white folk, right? So now as that happened, labor becomes expensive because now the nanny that I had, the black nanny that I had to watch over my house and to breastfeed my baby cost something. Right? The black people I had to do sharecropping and to take care, take care of my agriculture, it costs something. So guess what starts to happen? Immigration laws start to change. We start opening up the borders. We start allowing illegal immigration because now what we want, talking about Democrats, is we want that labor that we've always had, that cheap labor. And it's not just, let me stop. That's not just Democrats. That's Democrats and Republicans. They both wanted the cheap labor. That's really not even a party thing. That's just like a rich people thing, right? We want to pay a low amount of money for labor, right? It increases our profit. Again, this country has been used to slave labor. So they're not into paying like high dollar for labor. It's just never going to happen. I'm going to find a way to get it. So fast forward to today, you have immigrants coming in, right? You have Democrats that are telling you, open borders. Let them in. Let them in. Why are they saying that? Are they saying that because they want immigrants to have a good and successful life in America? No, they're saying it because of votes. Every immigrant that comes in, whether it's a illegal immigrant or not, technically they can vote, right? That's part of the thing that happened in California where Trump was trying to challenge it. He is saying, I want to challenge some of those votes where Hillary won California. But y'all know how Hillary beat Trump by like 1 million something votes or something like that. If you look at how much she won by in California, that's where those votes came from. And California is one of the biggest states for illegal immigration. So that's why he wanted to challenge it. He is looking like, I know all them votes aren't real. And you can look it up yourself. You can see that there's a lot of studies saying that those votes probably aren't real, but an official investigation hasn't been done yet, to my knowledge. So anyways, they're trying to get immigrants in so that they can vote. They either become legal citizens that can vote, or even illegally, you can still vote. There's an interview from Obama where he's kind of, sort of, I'll try to look it up for y'all. He's kind of, sort of telling immigrants, when Trump was running, he was kind of, sort of telling immigrants that they could vote, right? And pretty much just don't say nothing about it, but they can vote. I'll try to look up that for you. It's a video. He was on, I don't know, he was on one of those talk shows or whatever. But so that's what it's like all about. So now talking about immigration, what that does is the jobs that black people used to do, right? And I'm not talking about as slaves. I'm talking about after slavery. The jobs that black people used to do are now done by the immigrants, and mostly the Mexican immigrants, right? And we have to ask ourselves, why? The reason why is because now I have an illegal immigrant here that I don't have to treat with rights. I can pay him under the table. I can pay him whatever I want, and the job gets done, right? Whereas I have this black person who does not want to work for a low amount of money. So, you know, when they tell us the illegal immigrants are coming in doing the job that nobody else wants to do, that's a lie. A person who's hungry and don't have nothing to do, they're going to do the job. They are doing the jobs that nobody wants to do for the price that people are trying to pay them for it, right? That's the difference. So instead of paying people what they deserve, they would rather let more immigrants come in, right? And take advantage of these visa programs. That's another problem, right? And allow people to come in. So now let's talk about, for example, Mexican immigrants. And this applies to most of them. You have Mexican immigrants. What they do, again, articles for everything that I'm talking about. I will share articles with y'all. It's real. These are facts that I'm telling y'all. You have Mexicans that literally come over here. They work, sell oranges. I'm not trying to be racist or nothing like that. Literally sell oranges, give rides on horses, all this stuff. They work in construction. They do all these things, getting paid under the table, not paying any taxes, right? And sometimes they even have benefits where taxpayers are paying for some of the benefits, but that's a different story. They're not paying any of the taxes. They take their money, they come by themselves or come with a group of workers. They take their money, they send it back to Mexico, right? They send all that money back to Mexico. So then in Mexico, they have families of people that instantly become middle-class citizens in Mexico. They're able to open up businesses. They're able to generate real income in Mexico because the American dollar goes way further in a third world country like Mexico. So now I can send 8 G's back to Mexico and my family is out there balling. We can open up business. We can sustain ourselves. Then guess what? Then I'm going to come out to America after I have a foothold in Mexico. I'm going to come out to America and open up Roberto's. Like, you understand? Like, do you understand that we've been here for 400 years? 400 years, and you don't have like barely any national black chains. You got Mexican black chains though, right? And the reason is because they have the support of an entire country. We don't have that. We came over as slaves. We didn't choose to come over here. We wasn't trying to escape Africa like, oh, Africa's so bad for us. Let us try our luck in America. No, it wasn't like that for us. We was here as slaves. So us as black people, the whole reason I'm telling everybody all this, we have to stop playing this game of Democrat versus Republicans. It's not for us. I don't care what these people is talking about. It's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Like they telling us, look, the Republicans gonna tell us we care about you. We the ones that freed y'all. No, y'all freed us for a bribe. Y'all tried to get our people, right? The Democrat be like, no, we changed. It's the Republicans that's racist now. They the KKK. Stop that lying. All right. There are people, nobody gonna talk about this stuff. Nobody's gonna talk about this stuff. There are people literally that was in the Democratic Party that were confirmed KKK members. And I'm not even talking about way back in the 1800s. I'm talking about in the 1900s. I'm talking about a guy named Robert Byrd that died. I think he died during Obama's presidency, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Like somewhere in the middle. He died during Obama's term, right? And Obama had nice things to say about him, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. But for sure, the Clintons had nice things to say about him. Hillary Clinton said something like, we have to honor his lifetime of work. You mean to tell me a confirmed, admitted KKK member, I have to honor his lifetime of work? Y'all done lost y'all darn mind. I ain't trying to join no Democratic Party. Let me show y'all something. Because y'all be thinking I'm lying. A lot of people don't be believing me. Y'all be thinking, they think I'm a darn Republican. Because, and the reason why, right, the reason why people think I'm a Republican or I support Republicans, because I shoot down the Democrats. The reason why I'm so hard on the Democrats is because most of us already hate Republicans. But I'm going to sit here and kill time trying to get y'all to hate Republicans when most of y'all already hate them. So I'm trying to get the ones that y'all have affinity for. Y'all like play around with the Democrats. That's your buddies. And I'm trying to let you know they killing y'all. Like they set up the crime bills. What you talking about? Like, that's the stuff that you know what Republicans and Democrats agree about? Killing us. You have to understand. You have my boy, you know what I'm saying? My boy recently, he made a good point. He said, you got one person overseas that died. You know what I'm saying? This Khashoggi guy. Y'all might have heard about him on the news. Got his butt chopped up by the Saudi Arabians. You got one of them die. Whole Democratic Party in outrage. We getting shot down every day. When was the last time you seen a Democrat that was like in outrage on TV, on the news, complaining about it? You'll see them show up to a Black Lives rally, you know what I'm saying? Like Black Lives Matter rally. They might speak a little bit. It's never going to make news. They never taking that stuff to legislation. They not trying to help us. Neither side. The stuff they agree about is killing us. And they know it. Let me show y'all something. What was I about to show y'all? I was about to show y'all something. Let me see here. I might have pulled it down. Let me show you something. KKK in politics. I want all y'all, if y'all got a computer, just Google it. I don't have to I'm not making up nothing. Let me see. I bet you I'm going to find like a quick article. It ain't even going to take long. It's easy money. Look, boom. Here we go. You see that? I haven't clicked on that yet. It would be purple if I clicked on it. Ku Klux Klan members in United States politics. How many of y'all think they all going to be Republicans? They got to be all Republicans. Robert Byrd, first one up there. That's one I was just trying to tell y'all about. Robert Byrd. Okay? Watch this. He was a Democrat, by the way. Look, this is a list of them. Robert C. Byrd. Hold on, let me see. It's going to tell you somewhere. Okay. Byrd, here we go. Byrd, a Democrat, right? Eventually became his party's leader in the Senate. KKK member, confirmed, not a secret, not a joke, Democrat. Let's see. Edward Douglas Douglas White, a Democrat, not a secret, confirmed. Hugo Black, you know what I'm saying? Let's see where he was. Black, a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? Can you see it? Let me make sure y'all can see it. A Democrat. Let me see. Who else? Who we got? You know what I'm saying? Theodore G. Bilbo, a Democrat, right? A Democrat. A Democrat. Look, just follow my mouse. A Democrat. All of these guys are Democrats. Stop letting these people lie to you. The KKK were Democrats. Let me tell you something. When you see Trump, and Trump is going out and he's rallying, trying to make the presidential rally, and then you see the KKK start sending, we don't hear from the KKK ever. We never hear from the KKK. We never know they around today. They hang one of our people and call it suicide down south, right? We never hear from the KKK. All of a sudden, when a Republican start running, like Trump, all of a sudden the KKK come out of the woodwork talking about, we support Trump on flyers. They make a big deal out of it. We support Trump. Do y'all think that's the real KKK? Do you think that's really what they're doing? Or is the KKK an extension of the Democrats trying to hurt the Republican Party? Because they know if the KKK supports you, then I can put you on CNN and I can say, hey, why don't you denounce the KKK? Right? And I can make you look like an idiot on CNN. I can make you look racist on CNN because the KKK supports you. Those KKK members that support the Republicans, that's not real. Not all of it, at least. Not all of it is real. That's Democrats setting that stuff up to make the Republicans look racist. Now, the Republicans are racist. I'm not saying they're not, because they are. But so are the Democrats, right? It's the same thing that y'all see. All of a sudden, Trump, right before election time, all of Trump's enemies start getting bombs. All the people that he don't like start getting bombs. Because Trump is not smart enough to be like, well, don't send a bomb to all my enemies. That'll be obvious that I did it. No, that's Democrats setting it up. They call it an October surprise. All this stuff that they do is political power, right? All it is it's these white folks sitting there trying to vie and volley for better positioning in the world so that their buddies can make laws and they can make laws for them. And then when they stop being in Congress or when they stop being president or when they stop doing whatever it is they're doing for politics, they can go work for these companies that they made laws for. That's what it's all about. It's a revolving door. All they're trying to do is get back into these companies, make a whole lot of money, right? You can always make more money in the private sector. The public sector or in the banking sector, I work for a bank, so that's why I'm talking about this. But in the public and banking sector, you don't make money, you make resume, right? So you'll see Obama come in and he'll be like, yeah, you know what I mean, I'm president. And then when he stopped being president, Netflix is paying him $3-4 million for a series because now he's back private. He can make way more money private. And that's what they do. They come in, work public, get their resume up, and now they can go anywhere in the world. They can do whatever they want to do, and people are going to pay them out the butt, right? At the end of the day, don't take these simple little facts, you know what I'm saying, these misrepresented facts from these people. I'm going to try to end this thing, wrap this thing up. But I just want y'all to know, don't take these simple misrepresented facts, you know what I'm saying, from these people on either side. What we have to do is we don't support parties. We need our own party. You know what I'm saying? You talk to me about the Black Panther Party, let's do it. You talk to me about some other party, you know what I'm saying? I don't know all the parties that black people have started, but you talk to me about some other party, let's do it. But whatever it is, we need our own party, and we need to support our own party. If it's not our own party, and it's not a party that expressly has expressed interest in our stuff, right? Then we don't support the party, we support initiatives, right? So if Trump says, let's build a wall, it's not because I'm racist and that I don't like people coming in from the border. I'm saying the people that happen to come over that border illegally happen to be low-skilled immigrants that take the jobs of my low-skilled people. My people are low-skilled, right? My people don't have the opportunity all the time to go to college and to learn all this stuff. And even if we do, we go to college and guess what? We end up still working in McDonald's with a college degree. We still working on phone calls, you know what I'm saying? With a college degree, right? We doing all this stuff. This man just put the middle finger. Reno, Gino, who is you? You just gave me the middle finger? Well, I'll bring you in on this call. What you want to talk? I hope you're talking about, you know what I'm saying? I hope you middle finger, you know what I'm saying, the people I'm talking about. But anyway, you don't need to be middle fingering nobody. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the Most High God set all this up for us. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about that too. Nobody need a middle finger. You ain't gotta treat people. These people don't know what they doing. They don't know their right hand from their left hand. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm not racist because I support Trump building a wall. I know by him building a wall, that's less competition for my people who have been here for 400 years and still struggling. Right? That's less competition. Now we can go out and we can kind of negotiate with these rich people who had these agriculture, these labor jobs. We can negotiate with them and be like, listen, you ain't got nobody else to do the job. The Mexicans and the Hondurans, they ain't coming, you know what I'm saying? They ain't coming over the border now. So pay me a fair wage. Now we can start getting paid from this stuff. Oh, that's a thumbs up. Oh, my fault. Oh, my fault, Reno. I thought that thing was a middle finger. I appreciate it. My fault. Thank you, G. You know what I'm saying? I was about to wild out. All right. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So we're not trying to be racist by supporting that. We trying to look out for our people, right? And at the same time, if the Democrats are talking about let people in the border, we don't support you, Democrat. We don't support you in that. What we do support you in is make sure our welfare is good, right? Make sure our welfare, don't give me no stuff about black people don't need to rely on the government. Why we shouldn't rely on the government? The government relied on us. The government relied on us. They still relying on us. For 400 years they've been relying. Why I can't rely on the government? I don't want to hear that noise. You better rely on the government. I support. You better get your darn food stamps. Get every last one of them. Right? So if the Democrats gonna look out for our food stamps, they gonna look out for our affirmative action, they gonna look out for all this stuff, make sure we get jobs and all that, well then that's our people. We good. We mess with the Democrats as long as they doing that. If they not standing up talking about our people getting shot, we gonna stand there and tell them we not voting for y'all. And we not voting for you Republicans unless y'all doing something that we want y'all to do. We not affiliated with any party. We have to stop that. Stop being affiliated with the party. Tell them we affiliated with what you do. Until y'all show us a party that have our interests, that's the one that we'll do. These white folks get what they want. Right? Trump, look, all these people, when Obama was in office, everybody talked about, Obama has to be a president for all the people. Right? Ain't that that's always the story for us. It's like Black Lives Matter. No, all lives matter. We tell President Obama, President, look out for us black folks. You black too, right? Look out for a black people. No, he has to be president for all people. It's always, whenever we ask for something specific to us, it always turns into all. We can't have nothing specific. So, in the same way, you see Obama, we make excuses for him. We like, well, he couldn't do that. He couldn't do that. He couldn't do that. Why couldn't he? You see Trump come in, first 100 days, you can pull up the promises first 100 days, he almost kept all his promises. Everything he said, almost everything the man said he ain't gonna do, he walked right in and doing it. Everybody running their mouth talking about, well, it doesn't matter. They're going to be mad when they see he don't do. There's a couple things he didn't do. But they're going to be mad when they see he don't do, you know what I'm saying, the stuff that everybody say he, you know what I'm saying, all the stuff that he said he going to do. Yeah, his butt walked in and did all of it. Obama could have did the same thing. But Obama wasn't for us. Obama was for the white folk. He was in there. And, you know what I'm saying, Obama being a black man, what other choice you got in a lot of ways? You know what I'm saying? These people got all types of stuff on you. They got all types of people turn their back on you and just crumple your whole dream. Do you know what I'm saying? You got aspiration, you got dreams. You want to be a president. You want to be the man out here in these streets. So you compromise. All I'm saying, let's support a party that don't compromise. If we can get somebody elected from the Black Panther Party, guess what? When he walks in the door, he know what he there to do. Because he know who elected him. Obama didn't know who elected him. Obama knew all these white folks donated to his campaign, all these banks donated to his campaign, so he don't really know who elected him. As far as he know, I still got to do what the white folks said because they the ones that got me here. Let the Black Panther, see Trump, he wasn't mincing no words. He wasn't playing. When Trump walked in, he told you what he was going to do. He was going to get rid of the Mexicans. He was going to fight for American low labor jobs. He was going to bring companies back to America. He was going to increase the stock market. All these things the man did because he knew who he is fighting for. He is fighting for these middle of America white folks. A lot of them racist. People ain't darn crazy, right? They fight for their people. So stop making it look like they fighting for us. They're not fighting for us. We fight for us. And when we fight for us, we got to fight them sometimes. And I'm not talking about physically, because if they, you know what I'm saying, I know it's a lot of rah-rah black people that want to, you know what I'm saying, civil war and Obama did more for guys than he did for the black people. So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You meant gays, right? Did more for gays? You know what I'm saying? He said he did more for gays. Absolutely. 1,000% he did more for gays. He did more for a lot of groups because if you look at it, I mean, all right, let's stop. I don't want to be unfair to anybody. I never want to be unfair. I want to try to look at stuff as fair as possible. Let's just think about it logically, right? I'm going to look at it logically. Year after year, no matter what's happening, right, at least 60, 70% of the black vote coming out and it's going to vote Democrat, right? No matter what's going on, that's going to happen. 50 to 70, you know what I'm saying, percent going to vote Democrat, right? So if I know that, we going to get the majority of black people all the time. Am I going to kill a whole bunch of time spending a whole lot of political resources, spending a whole lot of money trying to do something for black people? Or am I going to go try to get the people that might not vote for me? I'm going to spend some money on these gay folks. You know what I'm saying? Let me go spend a little bit of money on these Mexicans. Because I know these Mexicans could go either way, right? These Mexicans could go either way. Let me spend some money on them. Let me get them. It's all about getting more voters. So that's why you see black people, and at one time in history, we were the forefront, right? But when were we the forefront? We were the forefront once when the Republicans freed the slaves because they knew that the South had the advantage because of the slaves. So we became the forefront. Then again, we became the forefront again at what point? I don't know, when we had the Black Panthers running around, Martin Luther King running around, Malcolm X running around, all these riots, all this stuff going on, all of a sudden, guess what? Black people are the forefront again because my country, the white people are saying this, my country is falling apart. We have to. That's when Lyndon B. Johnson was like, listen, we got to give them something, right? Got to give them something. Republicans know better. Richard Nixon was a Republican. And what did he say? You got one of his like aides or one of his counsels or whatever, some, you know what I'm saying? He came out and he told the truth about it. He was like, listen, Nixon already knew that it wasn't going to be popular to say we hate black people or we against black people. And he also knew it wasn't going to be popular to say we're against the hippies who are against the war. So what he do? He made weed illegal, you know what I'm saying? And like super illegal and penalize it heavily, and heroin. Because that attacked those two demographics. I can knock out the black folks. I can knock out the hippie white people that's against my war. Right? I can get rid of them real quick. You smoking weed? Take your butt to jail. What's wrong with you? Right? You shooting up? Take your butt to jail. What's wrong with you? Right? And at the same time, Listen, y'all seen American Gangster, that stuff is real. In that same time period, you got planes flying in with dope on the planes, giving it to black people to sell to their people so that they can put the drug addicts in jail, put some of the drug dealers in jail, but keep most of the drug dealers in place to keep their system running. That's how crack get there. All this stuff, man, when it comes down to it, it's just a strategy to get more power in politics. That's it. We got to be done with it. I'm done with this. Y'all got questions or whatever, hit me up. Anything I mentioned that y'all want proof of or articles, I forget all the stuff I done said so far. So all the stuff like articles or you want some proof of it or anything like that, seriously, leave a comment. I will find articles and proof of every single thing I've said. Everything. You just throw the question out there. I don't tell no lies. I don't have no hyperbole. I don't jump out there and make no wild assumptions. I'm not no conspiracy theorist. I don't play none of them games. I speak facts. Talk to me.